Plot armor sucks, but Punisher does it better than Batman. I made a video where I said plot armor often looks like this. Your main character or whoever that has the plot armor turns up, and all their opponents who have previously shown to be powerful or clever in some way suddenly lose the ability to think. They turn into big old dum-dums. It's not always like this, but this is the kind I really hate. And my example in the video was from a Punisher story. It's on my channel if you want to watch. But let's talk about a time where it was done well, and let's keep with the Punisher, a time when the Punisher was against a more powerful foe and lived to tell the tale without BS plot armor. This takes place during Marvel's Dark Reign era. Long story short, there was a Skrull invasion of Earth, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, this guy, helped end the final battle and save the Earth. And as a result, he was put in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. and given his own team of Avengers. Which is all sorts of ridiculous, but it's prime comic book fun, really. But back to the Punisher. Old Frank does not buy Osborn's face turn in the slightest, so he does what the Punisher does, and sets out to end his reign permanently. He gets his hands on a Skrull rifle and sets up 4 miles away. He briefly makes fun of the British for some reason, and then fires. But this new team of Dark Avengers, as they were called, contains the Sentry. He catches the bullet easily, right? And Punisher, he knows he's f***ed. None of his contingency plans account for the Sentry. He doesn't have some secret kryptonite stored up his butt. This is not coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb, this is coughing baby versus God himself. So, Frank runs. And I think that's a great but simple framing for an engaging underdog fight. Your main character fully acknowledges that he is outclassed, but he's gonna try and get out of this anyway. So Frank runs. He sets off an explosion and fires at the Sentry point blank in the face. Although I don't think that's what point blank actually means, but anyway, none of this does anything. The Sentry is essentially invulnerable, but this gives Frank hope. He knows that if the Sentry wanted to end it, this would already be over. And it's simple, but I love this method of giving Frank a lifeline. Not some secret ass pull or some other hero turns up, it's the realization that he should be dead already, but he's not, which means the Sentry wants to talk. So, Punisher dunks a vat of corrosive acid on him, naturally, which leads to this amazing panel. It does nothing, obviously. And by this point, Sentry's had enough, so he gently pushes Frank through a building. It's kind of insane that he survives this, but when he pulls up to arrest him, Frank pulls out the last gambit. A detonator. He says, "I put an explosive in a hospital and you have 5 seconds before it goes off." Firstly, that is all kinds of f***ed up. But Bob can't risk it. Despite him working with Osborn, Frank knows the Sentry still wants to be a hero. The other Dark Avengers are just straight up supervillains, by the way. They have Venom cosplaying as Spider-Man, they have Wolverine's son Daken playing Wolverine. It's a whole thing. It was fun though. But Sentry hears this, and he legs it to the hospital, and finds a dummy bomb. Punisher is not a good person, but he's not out here blowing up hospitals. But this brief respite was what Frank needed. He uses the time to run, and even then he barely escapes before Sentry can find him. And that's it, that's the story. Frank's weaponry and traps, his contingency plans, none of it accounted for anything, unlike some other people's. And he survived using his cunning, but more importantly, his gigantic balls.